town, Joe sound, you in the blink. Gon' bite the dust and fight it up. With your sound, you kill it. So don't stop, get it. Until you chat it, and watch the way I navigate. We're WXXJ and HD1, Ponte Vedra Beach, a Cox Media Group station. Stream X106.5. Quickly, do it now at X1065.com. X106.5, Jacksonville's new alternative.
I don't wanna fall asleep, I don't wanna pass away. I've been thinking of our future, cause I'll never see those days. I don't know why this has happened, but I probably deserve it. I tried to do my best, but you know that I'm not perfect. I've been praying for forgiveness, you've been praying for my health. When I leave this earth, hoping you'll find someone else. Cause yeah, we still young, there's so much we haven't done. Getting married, start a family, watch your husband with his son. I wish you could be me, but I won't make it off this bed. I hope I go to heaven, so I see you once again.